Hello guys, this is the Jurassic Blocky guy here, and today we are going to be starting the Hammond Collection retrospective series. And today we got one of the newest figures, the Rebirth Dilophosaurus. Now this figure is probably not one of the best of the newest figures, but it's pretty much close enough down the line. Now, in the first episode, we reviewed the Hammond Collection Moosaurus, and I thought it was a pretty decent figure. And the next figure I will probably get was Ghost in the second episode, but I decided to not get him yet because it was too early. Alright. And I did hear that a Hammond Collection Scorpius Rex is arriving to be available on Target Online on July 15th. So I'll probably get him for the third episode. Now, this will start off like every other figure review video that I do, but I decided to make it his own web series. It's just featuring only the Hammond Collection. And if you've not seen the first episode, which was a while back, then watch that episode first. Alright. Now that everything is set, let's talk about this figure. Now, the detail and the paint apps on this figure is okay. So, yeah, the detail is not very nice. Like, it is good for just a Hammond Collection figure, like on the Moosaurus. But the detail is decent on this figure. Like, all the wrinkles on the frill pieces, and to those wrinkly scales on the tail. But also, them scoots on the feet are nice. But for paint apps, it's okay too. Now, the paint apps on the Dilophosaurus definitely look nothing like the first ever Dilophosaurus that we see from Jurassic Park, the original one. But this dinosaur, like this variant, is the first Dilophosaurus toy or variant that I own. The Jurassic World Dominion and Jurassic Park 1 Raptors are literally the same variants. The Rebirth variant is definitely a different variant, and you can definitely tell by the paint apps. And they are sort of faithful to the original film, but I don't really like these paint apps. The only accurate thing that this Dilophosaurus has for paint apps is its frill pieces. They're the only accurate paint app thing on this figure. All the other paint apps, like the tan on the body, the gray all over it, and those brown stripes, the green on the head, they just kind of throw me off. But I don't know if the figure has like brown claws. Everything except for those tiny dew claws aren't painted. Like, come on. I know the Moosaurus didn't have dew claws, but for a small carnivore figure, you didn't even bother still putting on those painted dew claws. But for articulation, that's where the figures really shine. And we will talk about that in the next segment. Now, I did say articulation is where this figure really shines, and that is actually good. Well, from what some people think it is. Alright, we all know some simple articulation points like the hinge at the jaw. I'm going to take off this frill piece because this frill piece hinders the articulation. So, you got that simple hinge at the jaw. The head can look up, but it can't look down. This is where it gets help from the neck, and the head can rotate, and as well as the base of the neck. For the arms, they're on hinge joints and can swivel by the shoulders. The elbows are the same thing. Sadly, there's no wrist articulation. Like, you would give wrist articulation to the Mosasaurus because it has, like, different hand accessories, but not the Dillo. Why, Mattel? But moving down onto the legs, they could go back and forth and do a full 360. And at the knees, the ankles, and the feet rotation, they can all swivel. Like, they can all hinge and swivel. And at the base of the toe, it's your standard ball joint. And the rest of the figure is made of bendy wire. Don't know why. I think some people do oppose bendy wire because it is limited articulation in a figure, but I just don't like how the wire at the touch can just bend the figure over time, though. That's my only issue with it. I just don't think it hinders any articulation. But this frill accessory just hinders this guy's articulation a lot. But this next segment will be very small. So our next segment is accessories. For the Dilophosaurus, specifically this Rebirth version, have two different frill accessories. One when she's feeling more demure, and one where she is like mad and would do anything to protect herself. This is actually the best one. But some people, like myself, would just not put both of these frill accessories on to create a more accurate looking Dilophosaurus. And that is kind of true. But we'll just put this frill accessory on her because I don't know if it's a girl or not, but they said it in the Beyond the Gates reveal of the figure. And here's what she looks like with the frill accessory on her. What the heck? Now this frill accessories is probably what makes me like this figure, because I did say earlier that these frill accessories are the best part of this figure, other than the articulation, of course, except for the fact that it doesn't have wrist articulation, but I'm fine. I can live with it. It's fine. It's fine. And that's pretty much it for accessories. Now we're going to be making a more accurate depiction of this figure. And we'll do that in the next segment. For this next segment, we are going to be discussing on how a better looking Hammond collection Dilophosaurus is for the Rebirth version. Now, the frill accessories paint app should be just as normal, but the rest of the figure could probably use a better paint job in my opinion. So with some Photoshop, this is what I think a better Rebirth Dilophosaurus looks like. It's not the best. I think that I did a better job with the Mosasaurus. I just think this Photoshop makes it look too orange. But hey, you can't have enough orange around these places here. in the United States of America, huh? But I do think I personally just like the figure as is. No real changes need to do for it other than just fix some paint apps and maybe give it some wrist articulation. But this is actually like a bit stronger. Like, I like this one better than the Moosaurus in my opinion. It's nice. But I hate to say what our next figure we will be talking about in the Hammond collection retrospective is. So I guess we'll just spin that wheel. Alright, the Scutosaurus. Alright, that was the Hammond collection Rebirth Dilophosaurus. Hopefully I can start working on more on the Hammond collection retrospective series, because I would probably like to make more episodes and would probably get more figures from the line, but I just don't know. There are some figures I would like to get in the line, even some really old ones that are now like super expensive, like the Ankylosaurus and the Ceratosaurus. But one problem with getting the Hammond collection Scutosaurus is that it's no longer available on gosh dang Amazon, so I'm gonna have to like find an alternative figure to review until I at least get my hands on it, because it's one of those figures I want actually, but I probably won't have the money to get it since it's like a little over $30 originally. But I think the next figure we'll probably review is the Hammond collection Scorpius Rex. Now, I've been needing a good Scorpius Rex toy in a while, so hopefully I can get my hands on him actually. And sorry if I'm being a bit too quiet, but it will be very, very cool if this video gets out, but I think it'll be nice. And in the next video, I will reveal a new character. Ramby, that was my line. Also, where's the Dillo? I'm right here.